Now then, people, it's Joe, it's ALLLEEDS TV, and it is time for your weekly Friday show before the whistle blows. I know everyone looks forward to this one. It's my favourite show of the week as well. And we've got some fantastic guests as always, and we're welcoming for the first time on a debut as well, Newcastle United fan Kendall Rowan. How are you, Kendall? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me finally. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, good. We've got loads to get into, loads of games to go, and the girls have got some often do a little bit later on as well. So we're going to run through it as quick as we can. We will give Hal his moment in the sun as well, of course, actually beating that team across the Pennines the other night as well. I was buzzing for him. And we'll give time for Elena as well to have a Jose Mourinho rant, because I'm sure it's going to be a fun one. So we'll get that. And as always, guys, please smash a like on the video. Get as many people in as possible. I think it works like you smash likes and more people comes. I think that's how it works, something like that anyway. But before we do start chatting football, let me just remind everyone that this program is sponsored by Football Prizes. Football Prizes, they have many things on offer for Leeds United fans this week. You can get yourself a Pascal Struijk signed and framed Leeds United shirt. It's £4.95 a ticket. There are 99 tickets available. Corey, what are you doing? You can also get a Rodrigo signed official Leeds Match One Poppy shirt as well, which is an absolute beauty. Hard to come by them ones, and that's £9.95 a go. There's 245 tickets available, so you've got to be in it to win it. There's plenty more prizes available as well. England stuff on there, Liverpool, Man United, everything. Spurs, there's some Spurs gear on there as well. Not quite West Ham, Newcastle, or Sheffield United. Sorry,
no. Biggest team in London, and no merchandise.
No. Biggest team in London.
I actually can't.
I just need to enjoy it for 1 week at least, because we're definitely going to go down at some point. So,
nah, man, top four is happening for West Ham, man.
Mate, I'm feeling it. Honestly, after that Palace game, I'm like, do you know what? We're actually all right. We're actually a good team. So yeah, no, I'm excited for Sunday. It's going to be a massive game against Liverpool.
Yeah. Huge, man. Absolutely huge. Obviously, they got a decent result last night as well, to be fair, against a certain side. So, yeah, it's good, man. They're back, I think. They're back. But let's start it off. We'll start off with Manchester United versus Arsenal. Man United's first defeat. Sorry, I'll put my teeth in. It's their first defeat since the 1st of November in the Premier League. Beaten by arguably the worst Premier League side in history. Up to this point, I might add, Hal, before you come at me, up to this point. But yeah, Man United beaten by Sheffield United, turn up for the Bucks. I was absolutely buzzing. And last time out, I think Arsenal beat Manchester United as well. So it's a real test for both sides, because if you look at Arsenal, you'd arguably say the results they've been getting, they should be beating them teams. They've been playing the likes of Burnley, etc. They should be winning them teams anyway. When they're coming up against the big six, I guess we'll get a real barometer on whether or not they've changed, their form against the decent side. But who wants to? Let's Hal start us off. Hal, you start us off. What did you make to Manchester United, and what do you make to this fixture?
I'll tell you one thing, right? I'll say it on here, so it's out there. It's official. If Sheffield United stay up, I won't just have a trim. I will shave my whole beard. And Hal without a beard, my face looks like an infected toe. So you don't want to see that. But I'll tell you, the only reason why you might want Sheffield United to stay up is I will keep coming on this, whatever we call it. If we do stay up, but we'll wait and see. What do I make of Man United? They're going to be hurting. They're going to be sore after being put to the sword by the mighty Blades. That's been said before, not by me. And I think they'll definitely put out a performance, because they'll have to. So I think they'll be a wounded animal, and they are going to be out strong, looking like the Man United that I think we all thought they were before Sheffield United decided to actually play a game of football for the first time this season.
So do you think Man United will win the game then? You fancy them to beat Arsenal?
Yeah, I know it's unlike, it feels like a crazy thing to say, travelling to London away from home, always a bit more difficult. But I just think this season's thrown up so many strange results. And finally, we were on the end of one of those strange results, because we haven't been at all this season. So I think that they will go there and they will actually be like, right, let's go and put our proper performance. And before they played us, you know, I'm loving these comments, by the way. Before they played us, Man United were actually on a bit of a roll and kind of looking like, see, that's the thing, right? What I would say, we're all Yorkshire, aren't we?
Yeah, man. I love that.
We're all Yorkshire. We got to stick together, us lot, all right? You can, you can follow Corey's channel or whatever. I'd love it if you followed the others as well. But let's be honest, we're all Yorkshire. Let's just stick together.
To be fair, I was on my Instagram story like, up the Blades, after seeing some Man United reaction, and I got a few comments like saying, what are you on about, up the Blades? I was like, listen, they beat that team. That's all that matters to me. Elena, what are your thoughts on this game? Obviously, Man United, Arsenal. Arsenal creeping up behind you as well, you know. A few poor results, you might drop out of Europe. You never know. You might. But what are your thoughts on this game on the weekend?
You're trying to trigger me. I've got this. I've got it already. Like, I already know what my issues are. Yeah, I don't feel like they're as far behind as we initially thought. Everyone's kind of dropping points everywhere. So, to me, I know we're not going to win the league. So I would rather United win that game because they can still keep their title run and keep Arsenal lower because they're creeping up. And like I say, that whole like top half of the table is it's very, very tight, like very tight. So I think if they get a few points, we keep having results like we do like yesterday, we could drop out very, very easily, and we are already. But I mean, we might not be in that contention as much as Arsenal could be. So yeah, I think that I would rather United get a result, but the way that it was very fun, it was very funny. I really enjoyed Chef United doing that to them. It was a great day. But now,
can we just have an agreement, right? Because all the rest of us support a team called United, that we just say Manchester United when we're referring to Manchester United.
I love you, Hal, so much. Honestly, you are love of my life. I have this conversation literally every day.
Do you know what?
Can I just single day.
Do you know what? One time on Twitter, I said, obviously I said Sheffield and I got in trouble for it. And then I said, but there's so many Uniteds and all we say is United. So are you now saying that you all disrespect all of the other teams then when you say United? And they're like, no, that's different. I was like, it's the exact same. So I don't want to see you saying United if you're going to get onto me for saying Sheffield. So yeah. I will be mindful of both because now I specifically say Sheff United instead of Sheffield. So I will say Manchester United. It's just long, but I will say it. But yeah, I did want to have this conversation. But yeah, I would rather Manchester United get a result because I don't
to them as scum.
That's
what we say.
That's Arsenal, though. We're getting confused from what they're both in that game.
Yeah. True. There's only one United lead. People might disagree with that in here, but yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what about the first ever United, which is Sheffield United? So we should be called United. However, I call Newcastle United. And I call West Ham United.
No, don't.
All right, you're right.
I just saw it. I was like,
yeah, class. See, me personally, I fancied Man United to come up, like get scuppered at some point. Obviously, didn't think it would have been against Sheffield United, which is fair enough. But I still think they might be due a bit of a poor run from a personal standpoint, and I think it could continue against Arsenal. Kendall, what are your thoughts? Which side do you lean on?
I absolutely want Arsenal to win. I hate Man United. I dislike the entitlement of the fans. Every single person who is a Man United fan who I know personally knows this. So yeah, I'm Arsenal all the way. I did a Q&A a few months ago and someone was like, oh, which team would you support if it wasn't Newcastle? And I was like, Arsenal all the way. Ever since Wenger, I just like Arsenal, and yeah. So
we're still friends. We're gonna pretend that wasn't said.
So that's different. See, obviously I don't even have a rival, and like my club doesn't have a rival anymore because Sunderland's irrelevant. And
go on, man, they're in League One, man.
Because we're also irrelevant. So
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
a rival, so rivalry in me just doesn't fit anymore. Weirdly, Leeds are like the rival now, if you want to go geographically, because we don't have a closer team, so bit mental.
You'll endear yourself to the Leeds United fans saying that you hate Man United anyway, so that's all good, man. That's all good. Oscar, what are your thoughts, mate, on this one?
I think a month ago I'd been saying Arsenal wouldn't get anything from this, but I think Partey's come back in. What a player, by the way, Thomas Partey. I mean, they paid less for him than what Man United paid for Donny van der Beek, I think. So that sums it all up. Absolutely superb player, brilliant in the big games, and this is his kind of game for me. Fifth row, Saka, really impressive, and I like what Arsenal's building. I think obviously there's a lot. The naysayers will go on about Arsenal only being ninth in the table, but you can clearly see what they're building at the minute. And yeah, I can see them doing real damage to Man United here. But Man United, when they lose one game, they do tend to just drop off massively. They're very much a momentum-based team, and look at it logically. Lacazette or Aubameyang against Harry Maguire. There could be a few. I think Arsenal could cause Man United big problems.
Yeah, I agree, mate, and I hope it is the case. Corey?
Oh, listen, I don't know. I mean, look, Arsenal aren't that good a side, let's be honest. Like, they have struggled. Obviously, they got the win against Southampton. They were awful in the FA Cup. They've been awful for quite a few weeks. They've been relying on Saka and Smith Rowe to bail them out. And don't get me wrong, they look so much better when they're in the side. But I think Tierney's out. I think Smith Rowe's out. They're huge losses as well. I think Arteta, he's got a bit of a project going on there. He needs a couple of years really to get the youth in and start to progress. I wouldn't write Man United off. They had a terrible performance. Their defending was woeful. That second goal was just, I mean, Pogba switches off, Martial switches off.
I
was cruising so much. But the thing is, like, I think United will bounce back. But these games are always cagey.
Manchester United.
Yeah,
we just agreed on that. We just had a blood pact, Corey.
Yeah. No, look, I think it'll be a cagey affair. I don't think it's gonna. They don't play great football. I think Arsenal sit behind the ball. Man United will get the ump. It will just be probably a 1-1. To be fair.
Cool. I didn't do score predictions. Let's quickly go around the houses. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Elena?
I'm gonna go 3-1 Manchester United.
Cool, Kendall.
I have to think about it now.
Don't think, man. Don't think.
As much as I want Arsenal to win, like I just think Man United have a little bit of an edge. Like when everyone's on form, and when Bruno and Pogba are all on form, I just think they have the edge. So I think it'll be 2-1 Man United, even though I want it to be Arsenal, but I think it'll be Man United.
Cool, Hal.
I would, before I give my prediction, just like to welcome Oscar back, because Oscar, mate, it's been a long time since I've seen you. I'm very, very, very pleased to see you back. So thank you for being back.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Cheers, mate. I'll just go with that.
We've really missed you, Oscar. What I would say is I think it'll be 2-1 to Manchester Red.
Cool, Corey.
Yeah, 1-1.
And Oscar.
Desmond 2-2.
Desmond 2-2. Cool. Right, let's move it on. We've got Everton versus Newcastle versus the Toon. Kendall, you've got to be happy with the performance last time. I know you Bruce out. I get all that. But you did all right. I mean, no, I do know. But what I'm saying is, right, from an outsider's perspective, I'm looking and thinking, right, you've got to take some sort of enthusiasm from that. I get he's having a nightmare.
Understatement, yeah.
But obviously, St. Maximin came on and did bits. I thought Almiron looked good. Do you look at that and do you get any sort of enthusiasm for this Everton one, or are you just writing it off already?
I have enthusiasm in the team. The manager I don't have enthusiasm in because he does dumb stuff. Like, he'll look at that and think, St. Maximin impact sub. Let's just play Joe Linton on the wing. That's just what he does. He just does stupid things, like idiotic things where you just wouldn't do that. He goes round York to get to Cork. Like, there's just no point. Honestly, I'm actually a bit dreading it because he said he was like so enthused by the whole Aston Villa performance, and then obviously we had Leeds, and second half we did look decent. Well, not decent, but we looked better than we have for a long time. And that's because Fraser, Almiron, St. Maximin, Wilson were all playing, which is what I said, like what I wanted from the beginning. But he just for some reason he doesn't do it. Like, he just doesn't play those 4 players together usually. Obviously last time out we got a result against Everton. Best thing for me ever is to see Pickford crying. You know, he comes out with his tongue sticking out and he's like, to all the Newcastle fans, obviously we're not there this time. And then he just literally fails, and it is the best thing ever to watch. So I hope it happens again. But you know, they had loads of injuries the last time we played them. So like Richarlison was out, Hammers was out, Digne was out. Like everyone was out at that point, and now most people are back. So I can't see us getting anything from this game whatsoever, really.
I was doing a bit of research. I do research now and again, and I've seen no goals in 6 away games for Newcastle. But you mentioned that man in goal. Obviously, he had another howler again the other night against Leicester. I think there's rumours that Everton are looking at Sergio Romero across the Pennines at Manchester United. So, you know, that might have a bearing on Pickford's performance, maybe. I mean, if anyone's going to give you a goal, it'll be him, I'd imagine. You know what I mean? Especially the rivalry. I guess you obviously don't like him with him being a Mackham, etc. Boys, does anyone give Newcastle any hope against this Everton side? Or girls, sorry. I said boys there.
If Bruce plays that team that finished against us, Fraser and Maximo on the wing, Wilson through the middle, and we're on in the 10, I think they can cause most teams a problem. You know, I was looking at that when they changed it. As Kendall said, I mean, there's good players in that team, you know. I think you can build, all right, there's not a lot of depth, but it's absolute madness. Why would you sit back and play defensive when the best part of the team is your front 4? I just don't get it. But he won't do it, Bruce. He won't do it. It'll be a 5 at the back again. They'll probably start the game slowly, like they did against us. And if you do that against Everton, you know, Richarlison, you know, you got your Calvert-Lewin, you got your James Rodriguez. What a goal that was by Rodriguez, by the way, with his weak foot against in that game against Leicester. When you got that front 3, you've just got to be on it. And for me, I just don't think Newcastle start games well enough, so I can't see it, to be honest.
Anyone else? Anyone?
Oh, we need Newcastle to get dragged in.
Yeah.
Stop this. I can't.
I think we're just underestimating Everton. Like, they're a great side. I think they've been really rocky this season. I know, but they've gone so high, and then obviously they've been on and off. But I think if they're on their game, and like you say, Bruce doesn't play the right team and do what they should do, I don't think that they're, you know, I don't think they've got much of a chance. I mean, I wouldn't mind it because Everton are on our heels, so it would be like, you know, we're all so close, so it would be great for Newcastle United to do it, but I don't know, I just don't see it happening. I think I genuinely think Newcastle, they have a decent team, and I think it is managerial. We had this discussion before with Kendall, but I think that it is managerial, but I don't think, even with their best team, I do think Everton have like more quality. It does depend how they play, obviously, but I just think that Everton will more likely get the result. But it would be nice not to, so I am backing your team, Kendall.
We're Charity FC, or Swedish Charity FC, or some Man United Charity FC, handing out the points to the little teams, not the little teams, I meant to say lower teams, Hal, sorry. You know, the lower teams handing out there's 3 points for you because you need them. There you go. There's a goal for you because you need it, Kyle Walker. There's a goal for you, John Stones.
That's how I feel with Tottenham. That's how I feel.
I just, like, I don't know if anyone can tell, but I'm at this point where I just like, what happens, happens. Like, if we go down, hello, Sky Bet Championship.
Yeah. How is that a case? Do you see Newcastle as someone that will get dragged in and you can save yourself? Is the Great Escape on now?
I mean, Kendall had been so nice to me until then.
I didn't actually mean little. I meant to say lower, but I said little.
She definitely meant little. She definitely meant little.
I definitely didn't.
As you know, Joe, I don't swear. So when I heard that, I thought to myself, F me in the A and call me a... because that was so shocking. And someone's written in the chat, Kendall is ruthless. That's how I felt. That's where that hurt. We need Newcastle to get dragged in, join us, so that we've got half a chance of the Great Escape. We need like that Fulham West Brom game at this weekend. It's such a crucial game for the small sides, the little teams, so that we can start to drag ourselves out of this perilous situation. We've won 3 out of 4 now, so we're on a bit of a roll. And if it hadn't been for Tottenham getting it right in recent weeks, we'd have carried on that run. So yes, we do need Newcastle to fall back, just so we got half a chance, and it's probably even more than half a chance realistically looking at it.
Yeah. So what you're going with in the weekend then? Give us a score prediction, Hal.
I know Steve Bruce so well. His first club that he managed was the mighty Red and White Wizards, and he's gone on to do just as badly with every other team. He's not a good manager. I think he's a nice man. But a bit like Bruno Fernandes is a very handsome man. Very handsome man. Doesn't really mean anything when it comes to his football prowess. So I think that's the same with Bruce, who's not a handsome man. He looks like his face has been squashed. I can't remember the question.
Yeah, just give me a score prediction, Al.
2-0 to Everton.
2-0 to Everton, yeah. Oscar?
3-1 Everton.
Someone says, all right, Oscar's made my day pulling out the Capri Sun.
It's not even Capri Sun.
Everyone's on the lager.
Capri Sun.
Oh, everyone's on the lager and
sun quench.
It's a snide. It's a
Scouse version of Capri Sun, mate. It's a Scouse version of Capri Sun.
Straight Aldi Capri Sun getting pulled out there. Corey, score prediction?
I'm going to go 2-0 Everton.
2-0. Elena?
3-0 Everton.
Are you completing the clean sweep, Kendall? Do you give yourself any hope?
If that is a very big if, because I highly doubt it's going to happen. We play that front like a 3-1. I think we'll score. I think it'll be like 2-1, 3-1. But I'm going for an Everton win regardless. I don't think we'll win at all. And if we do, friggin' hell, that's another 6 months of Steve Bruce. So
yeah,
yeah.
Collateral damage at this point.
Is that where your head's at? Like, do you just want? I guess you never want your football club to lose, but is it a case of saying, look, if we lose, at least he might go? Is that where the head's at?
I never want us to lose. Like, I literally never want us to lose. I'm not at that point. I don't think I ever will be. But as I say, it's not as hard to take when you lose because you know that it might just be another, nail in the coffin. But to be honest, actually at this point, it's not because the board have come out and said they're going to stick with him until probably at least the end of the season. So, yeah. So to be honest, if we lose, it's even worse because then it's just like, oh, we're still not going anywhere. So,
yeah.
Kendall, is there anyone you'd like to replace Steve Bruce?
Lots of people. Me at this point, no, but realistically, Eddie Howe, because I think he's a realistic option. Obviously, I love Rafa, but he's not going to come back under Ashley. So, yeah, Eddie Howe for me, and he's still out of a job. And
that's a really good shout.
So, yeah, Eddie Howe for me.
That would be a good shout.
I was listening. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I was listening to something earlier though, and they reckon he might be getting lined up for the Palace job. To be fair, Eddie Howe, Roy might be on his way come the end of the season. I think.
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, have to wait and see.
I think that's realistic because Roy is beyond retirement age.
Yeah, let's be honest. He's done, isn't he? He's done. He needs to pick up his pension, doesn't he? To be fair, you're right, guys. Those that are watching in the chat, please continue to smash a like on the video. We've got like 200 odd people watching. Continue to smash the like. Let's get some more folks involved. Corey, I want to come to you first of all, mate. Being down there in London, obviously Lampard, thankfully, finally lost his job. Was absolutely buzzing. Right, I did for a second think, should I be so happy about someone losing the job?
I felt the same.
But then I thought quickly, nah, he's a dickhead. He's a dickhead, man. That's about. If you went on Sky Sports News that evening, you'd have thought he died. You had his Uncle Harry coming on, eulogies and all this sort of stuff.
They got Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, they got Harry Redknapp. Yeah, mental. You'd have thought he died.
Oh, was it like Van Dijk all over again? Like a little...
yeah, no, it was honestly, it was brutal. It was brutal. Not one said he was at fault. It was all about the players and the fact that he should have had more time, etc., etc. Yet when you look at the record, regardless, he had the worst points per game record of any Chelsea manager under Abramovich. That's why he was sacked. If he was doing well, then fair enough. You can't be a knife. Anyway, it is what it is. Tuchel's come in, Corey. 0-0 against Wolves. Crazy numbers in terms of passing, running, etc. I mean, they didn't get, they got a point. They didn't score.
So funny.
Yeah, everyone's been fawning over it. But what do you reckon to the appointment as a whole, mate? Do you think he might do bits for Chelsea?
Possibly. I actually don't rate Tuchel that much from the time I saw him at PSG. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh because I can't really remember the Dortmund side. I know he did wonders with them and they did really well in the league. But I think it was funny Harry Redknapp coming on Sky Sports saying, well, what's Tuchel done? And he's got an 85% win rate for every club that he's been at. And Frank Lampard's struggled at every club he's been at to do anything of note. So I did think that was funny. I think the way, in terms of formation, he's changing it a little bit. I think Kante's in there. Jorginho's been introduced. They've got some strange wing-back system going on. But I did find it funny, their social media team putting out, they made 16 successive passes and obviously they didn't score. So I was like, they've still got the same issues. Couldn't score with Frank, can't score with Tuchel. But I think he's a better manager. Inevitably, that turnaround will come. They will, unfortunately, pick up points and probably start competing with us near the top end of the table.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've seen it as well, 800, because I've seen someone had said they got 880 passes or something like that, the most in a Premier League game this season or something like that. And then someone just retweeted and went, yeah, but they didn't score. So what kind of thing?
Who cares?
It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. I remember it reminds me of none of you guys because it's Championship. Maybe Hull was down there. Newcastle might have been down there at the time actually as well. When Jaap Stam was at Reading. And they used to put out crazy numbers. And all they used to do is just pass it when Jaap Stam was manager at Reading, just between the centre-backs. And they think they was doing amazing, but it was just literally two centre-backs passing it to each other all game. It was why is the hype around this side? But anyway, I just wanted to touch on Chelsea briefly. Obviously, Burnley, though, two massive, huge results against Liverpool and Villa. Can Burnley continue in this great form, anyone, and go to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea, do we think?
If they had
It'd have
Frank,
to be a set
maybe,
piece
but I think
to win.
now.
You think Tuchel will just pass them to death?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if they had Frank, they might have got a result, Burnley, but I don't think they will really. I don't think they'll lose. I don't think Chelsea will lose. And I think he only had a 2-hour training session with him, so it's a little bit harsh on him. Give him a couple of days, see what can happen.
Don't let that get in the way of my narrative, Elena, man. Don't let that, man. Don't let the truth get in the way of my narrative.
I'm just saying. I mean, it was the same. It's the same sort of issues when I was worried, when Mourinho first came in and we won that game against West Ham. It was if we didn't win it, I can't be oh, nothing's changed because he literally had one day. I don't think you can judge a manager on their first game with that quick turnaround, but hopefully Burnley do get a result because it would be funny. But obviously and help us out, but I just don't see it. I not even a high scoring game, could even be 1-0 or something to Chelsea, but I don't see Burnley getting a result.
Elena, you as a Spurs fan, obviously in the hunt for the top 4, Europe, etc. Do you now worry about Chelsea now that they've brought Tuchel in?
Yeah, because I personally do think Frank was. I think Frank was the problem, considering the amount of money they've spent. The players they got in were good players. I mean, I think Werner will get form back. I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes for them not to be performing on that level. So yeah, it does worry me a bit. I do get worried when I think of Chelsea now that they've got a new manager, because I was quite content when they had Frank, but when it's come to them getting a new manager and stuff, I do think, okay, well, there's only 4 top spaces and there's so many teams in contention for it. If they had Frank, I don't think they would have made it. So, or just would have been a scrape. But now I think, because he knows how to, he's familiar with the German league, I think he will know how to get a lot out of those players that they've bought. And I feel they can creep back up, which is very annoying for us because we are not doing very well. But I'm sure you're going to let me rant on that later.
Yeah, don't worry. I've saved a nice little slot. For you to get some ranting in.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. It makes for good viewing, man. So obviously, poor Mason Mount was dropped as well. There was an absolute outcry, weren't there? An absolute outcry.
He's coming to West Ham. Get him with Declan Rice.
Did any of you see the meme of Simon from In-Betweeners, and it said Mason Mount getting back from training, and he just went into the thing and started crying. I was in stitches. It was a beauty. Let's get some score predictions for this one. Harley, you wanting Burnley to get spanked, get pulled into that dogfight, or do you think they're all right?
I think Chelsea will be fine. This is the early kickoff on the Sunday. And, you know, I wanted Frank, by the way, to see out the season for a number of reasons, but one of them being that he bloods youth. And I think Gilmour is going to be an absolute star. I'd rather see him in there than Jorginho, who I think is overrated. Mason Mount, I like him. I think, you know, great for the future of not just Chelsea, but for his country. I don't know if Tuchel's going to do that. Well, obviously time will tell, but you knew Frank was going to do that. And I don't think Chelsea are going to get top four whether they sack Frank or not. So I would have just left him till the end of the season. That's just me. I think Chelsea will beat Burnley. I think it'll be probably closer than a lot of people reckon. Burnley are not a bad side, which is unfortunate because I need them to fall back into it as well. 2-1 to Chelsea.
Kendall?
Yeah, I agree with Eleanor. I think it's going to be 1-0 Chelsea. I don't. Burnley are pretty. They always kick on second half of the season. I've been saying this every time anyone said they're going to go down, and they always kick on second half of the season. So yeah, I think that'll be 1-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, it is mad, isn't it? Obviously, Oscar, the fact that Burnley were the team that beat Liverpool on their crazy nearly 4 years. They got to 4 years, you know, not getting beaten.
Burnley, isn't it? They're one of those teams that they're annoying, aren't they? Burnley, really, they never quite get to the top half of the table, but they always pick up results like that. But I think this one's a difficult one. I think Tuchel's a really good fit at Chelsea, to be honest. I don't think he was. I think at PSG, obviously, you should win the Champions League when you got that calibre of player. But I think it's a bit more like the Dortmund job, this for Tuchel, in terms of the squad he's got. Quite a young team, quite energetic and fresh. I think he really suits his style of football. I do think next season, to be honest, if he gets complete control of the transfers, I think they could even push for the title. But the only thing I'll say is, as much as I don't want Chelsea to push for the title, it's the piss that it'll boil at the British media if Tuchel does well. Then goes Lampard up, which makes it quite funny.
Yeah, it was mad, wasn't it? Because we were talking about it yesterday how Gillan Balaguer had to come out and said he finds it mad that the fact that Tuchel's come to the Premier League, it's not being celebrated, and he doesn't understand why one of the best young coaches is coming into the division and no one seems asked. And the fact of the matter is because he's replaced the media's darling in Frank Lampard, and that's what it is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It really irks me. I don't know what to do with myself now that I can't aim my hate towards him, if I'm being totally honest. He'll rock up somewhere.
You're going to be a bit lost on Fridays now. You always guide us into a Frank dissing session.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I think what's going to happen I'm going to stop getting work. I'm going to stop getting messages saying, "Do you want to come on now?" He's gone. So I'll be like, Frank, get a job quick.
You can still aim your hate at Frank Lampard. It'll just seem like you've got a vendetta and you're a very petty man.
Fuck off. We normally leave these to last, but I wanted to give Harley's moment and Elena hers a little bit later on in the show. So I wanted to touch on Leicester v Leeds now. Leicester are absolutely flying, unbeaten in 9 in a title race.
Vardy's here.
Go on, sorry.
Locks ain't him. We need him.
Elena's right. This is the one and arguably only time we've ever needed Locks. Who looks like a baked bean right now.
Yeah, he's doing his he's got a ex-Premier League footballer on, and I said, "Oh, you're ditching us for that, are you? That's it."
Dean Hammond. He's ditched us for Dean Hammond.
Yeah. Is he even ex-Premier League? I don't know how.
Yeah, he played for Sheffield United. He's an absolute fraud of a footballer.
If you want to check Locks' channel out, you can do, but as I say, he's got crap footballers
frauds on there if you want to subscribe.
And that reminds me as well, that has just reminded me as well, and I should have done this at the top of the show and I forgot to. As I mentioned about football prizes, the link is in the description. The lovely Hal also had Mr. Vinnie Jones himself over on Hal's radio show, ex-Leeds, ex-Sheffield United. I put the link in the description to this video as well. So after we've done here, any Leeds fans or anyone who just wants to see Vinnie Jones, because he's a cool guy, been in many movies.
Thanks,
you know, X-Men, Lock, Stock, and many more. Some guff ones as well, but he's a pretty cool guy. If you want to check that out.
Just to let you know, we filmed it, and he does talk about things like Alioski would have got into the Crazy Gang team, calling him Berserker and all that. So there's plenty. He talks about some great memories, some stories you'll never have heard about David Batty. it's well worth a watch if you're a Leeds United fan.
Great stuff. And I've put the link in the description, as I say, so make sure you check that out. Sorry, I didn't mention it at the start, Hal. I was rushing, but it came to me. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Vardy's out for Leicester, which is a huge loss. However, Locks tells us 18 goals scored, I think, in the last couple of, and he's not been involved in any of them. So is he that much of a big loss, you know? Does any of you guys give Leeds any hope in this game at, the King Power Stadium?
I think you're going to struggle in the midfield, to be honest. I know they've got Ndidi out. That's a massive plus for you lot, because I thought, particularly the way he played against Chelsea, was superb. Maddison come in. He's going to be a nightmare. You just need to shore up that midfield a little bit. It's getting a bit... I think teams are sussing it out and they're throwing another body in there and they're pressing, and you're making too many mistakes and you can't play the style that you need to play. I think that's what's going to tip it. Tielemans is coming into some ridiculous form at the moment as well. So it'll be interesting, though. I'll be interested to see if they try and press you a bit and then you counter-press them and then you can try and get in behind and they open up a bit. It might be a better game than I think it is, but I can just see Leicester dominating that midfield.
Yeah, it's the area that worries me as well, Oscar. You know, it has been pretty non-existent for the last few games for Leeds United, to be fair. Rodrigo, Click obviously didn't start against Newcastle. Fully expect him to come back in. But I think the key positive I take, yes, we got spanked 4-1 by them last time, but in that game we didn't have KP, we didn't have Rodrigo, and we didn't have Rafinha. So them three coming into the mix adds something for us, doesn't it, Oscar?
Yeah, I think it does. I know Locks made the argument that they didn't have Ndidi, except they haven't got Ndidi this time anyway. I don't know why I start with them, but there's a couple of players they didn't have either. I think they didn't have Castagne, Soyuncu, so a couple of defenders didn't have. But yeah, it's all about how we start, really. You know, it's all about how we start. We start like we did against Newcastle, where I thought first half an hour, I'll be honest, I thought we were totally in control. Obviously, after that, it was a messy performance from us, and if we play like that second half we did against Newcastle, we will lose the game 4 or 5-0. To be honest, I'm not even going to deny that. Seriously, we are in the big trouble to play that. But we won't play that badly, I don't think, because the trouble is when you play that against Leicester, Maddison, Perez, Tielemans, Barnes. You know, I know even without Vardy, they still have top quality. But for me, if we start the game well, get the first goal. First goal's massive in this one. If they score first, we've got to really push out. Both full-back high, and it'll turn into a similar game at Ellen Road. But I think we will score first in this game. I think Leicester do tend to start games quite slowly. I think you saw that against Everton without Vardy. They weren't particularly... I didn't think that they probably deserved to win the game, but nothing that really worried me in that one. But ultimately, the thing is, we go into these games and the media will say, if Leeds lose the game heavily, it's a disaster. But the expectation is on Leicester to win this game comfortably. The pressure is not on Leeds United. And that's what Bielsa has to kind of instill into us, that, you know, not necessarily going defensive, but stay in the game. Don't go 2 down before half time like we did against Tottenham, like we did against Scum, like we have in pretty much all these games recently. You know, just stay in the game if we can. And we'll create chances no matter what we do. That, you know, even if we play poorly, we'll still create chances. So, yeah, it's a big opportunity for us, but we're going to have to be much improved on the last couple of games.
Yeah, and Kendall, obviously seeing Leeds last time out, what do you make of this fixture? Do you reckon we're going to be on the end of a spanking?
Well, as Oscar says, it depends, because if you play like you did the first half, it's going to be a lot closer than you think. But obviously, if you come out first half and play like you did the second half against us, you know, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good viewing, because Maddison's on form now. Tielemans is just what an unreal player. Like, they've got players like even in their back line, like Fofana and James Justin, who are just unbelievable. Like, they've got such a good, underrated side in a sense. Like, they haven't got massive stars in the team. They've just got several really, really good quality players. And yeah, to be honest, like I'd like to see them in, because I want to see them in a title race. I want them to be up there, you know, rather than the same old teams that are always there. I would love Leicester to be in the title race and continue that they are. But, you know, Brendan Rodgers is a big bottler, so whether we will or not, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Other than on Sunday, me and Oscar were having this point yesterday when we spoke to Locks and Jack from Leicester Fan TV. You know, we love the fact that you've got Leicester in there, little old Leicester going in, winning Premier Leagues, now in the mix. And for me, you'd arguably say it's probably between them, Everton, Spurs. I want to be kind, maybe West Ham.
Thank you.
for that fourth spot, man. So yeah, because I think the top three is probably already sorted now, to be fair. So hopefully Leeds can get a result, but we'll have to wait and see. But Elena, gives a score prediction for Leicester Leeds.
I think, just like everyone else said, I think Leicester have a lot of quality, just like Kendall said, not huge stars, just quality all over. And I feel like they're very much slept on. I got asked a question on a podcast the other day, who's your most like under the radar, underrated team? And it's Leicester, because people just don't notice them, but they're just consistently good and they play consistently good football. I think there's a problem with Leeds in the fact that we know you don't like change your tactics for anyone. And I think with Leicester, they play a very counter-attacking game. I mean, when we played them, it was like, you have the ball, no, you have the ball, no, you have the ball, because we play the exact same football. So I feel like if you play the way you played against us, which is mostly how you normally play, they will hit you on the counter and they will get goals. But if you create, they might leak a couple, but I genuinely think I think it'll be like 3-1 to Leicester. I think you will score because you do tend to create a lot of chances per game, but I think overall Leicester just have so much quality. They're going on a high, they're doing great at the moment, and I think the way they play is very much suited to you. Like, I think if you play them, like when I was excited to play you lot because the way we play it suits us. So I feel like, yeah, that it's the same sort of thing with Leicester. So yeah, I'm seeing nothing but a Leicester win. But I don't mind Leeds winning. I mean, I'd rather Leicester not do well. I've got a little vendetta against them since 2015. So I'm not the most happy about that situation. So yeah, I'll take it if Leeds win. But yeah, I just don't see it.
No, I get it, man. Because like I say, they played that way last time, and we got spanked 4-1. You know, it's the perfect foil. I guess for me as a Leeds United fan, I want to see whether or not Bielsa is going to adjust slightly based on what he's seen in that first game. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying he'll go out and change the full stack because it's not in his ethos to do that, but he might make little tweaks here and there. Obviously, knowing what happened in the first game. Kendall, what score prediction have you got?
Yeah, 3-1 was mine to Leicester as well.
Nice. Corey?
I'm going to go 2-1. No VARs. It'll be a good game.
Yeah, it will be. It always is. It always is. Oscar? Yeah.
I'm going to stick with 2-2 because I think Rafinha on that right-hand side because whoever plays left-back for Leicester won't be an orthodox left-back. So I'm going for that for our potential area to hurt Leicester. So I'm going to go 2-2.
Good times. I'll never not back Leeds, so I'm going 2-1 Leeds United to upset the apple cart. And keep climbing for that European spot. Hal, quick score prediction, mate. Leicester Leeds. Be nice.
Yeah, sorry, just to put some money in the meter. If Leeds score first, it's a draw. And if Leicester score first, Leicester win. Sorry, I always like to predict a Leeds win, but not always realistic. So I'm actually going to say 2-2.
Do you mean it's not always realistic? It is realistic, my man. It is. Next one, Corey, you're up, my man. West Ham versus Liverpool. Fifth in the table, brother.
Yeah. We need some respect.
Conceded only 2 in 7 games, man. Europe is on the cards. How are you feeling?
I'm buzzing, mate. Like, to be fair, I'm normally quite self-deprecating, and I probably was up until that Palace game. And then I sat there and thought, I think we've only lost to Chelsea. Fat Frank obviously has to get his win against the top 10 side. It's us. Man United, and I think it was Liverpool. So other than that, we've competed or got a draw or a win against every other team in this division. And it's like...
We beat you 3-0, sorry.
Oh, yeah, but I don't really count that. No, that don't really count. That don't really count because it was wing-backs or whatever, so I kind of just forget about it. But I think we're just playing unbelievable stuff at the moment. Like, on Tuesday, Palace really did come for us, and I was thinking they scored that goal early, and I was like, typical West Ham fan, I was like, here we go. We're going to lose 2-0. They've had a nice rest, and literally just come back. Souček, double. All of a sudden, we're on top of them. We should have won the game 5-1. And I can't get my head around the fact we're playing actually decent football and we're up there. And I don't know how we've managed to get up there. We've just got the consistency. Now, it's going to drop a little bit because you've got Liverpool, Villa, Spurs and Man City in the next 6 games. So inevitably. But they've got games in there, Fulham, Sheffield United, that we could get wins from. So if we just, as long as we're a bit consistent here, we'll compete. But I can't believe it. I'm still shocked. We're the biggest team in London at the moment, which is crazy, nearly in February. So I'm just going to enjoy it, man.
Just signed Lingard as well.
Yeah,
just
so
signed
is that delivered?
Yeah, to be fair, I was racking my brains around it because it come out on Tuesday, Wednesday. I was like, why would you sign Lingard? We've got about 4 number 10s. And the more I think about it, the more I think I trust Moyes. You know, he brought in Bowen, Souček, Soufal, like top players that have come in and done unbelievable. So you've got to believe there's something in the reasoning in bringing him in. But he's going to do some stupid celebration. You can bet on it 100%. Some dab.
I think he's pants me, you know. I think he's absolutely pants.
Yeah, but his problem is with him is he's got that high energy work rate thing that Moyes loves. And my worry was, are they going to put Ben Rama to the left and put Lingard at 10? And I'm like, why? What? Just because he's got that energy. So that was a bit of a concern. But to be fair, mate, we've got the worst squad depth in the league. So anyone at this point is
real
better.
problems there.
We do. Well, apart from on the other day with you against Man United, we seriously have the worst squad depth. We've got 4 goalkeepers in our 25-man squad and 1 backup centre midfielder, backup striker.
We got 4 keepers and we don't have any backup midfielder, and we only had 3 players fit on the bench against Man United.
Okay.
10 players
pretty
out.
much retired.
Okay,
Elena, you can't. No way, you're not allowed to talk about that at Spurs. Come on.
Yeah. No. Okay.
You realize our backup is Joe Hart in 2021. Please do not.
Yeah, I'm not feeling so.
Our backup's Kiko Casilla. We win.
Yeah.
I don't like how I'm supposed to be the high roller here. Like, oh, we've got the money, we've got the squad depth.
Right.
I sit here and I'm complaining about our squad depth and our owners.
Our backup has never played a game of professional football in England, and I call him Salad Fingers because he's got enormous fingers. And anyone who's as old as me might remember Salad Fingers as an animated cartoon, which is well worth searching. So yeah, he's never played. So Joe Hart's at least got some experience.
Yeah.
That's all
I don't know.
Experience and able to shout. Low to his left. To forget about it. You might as well just shoot low to his left because they're always going in. Outside the box to his left, low. It's not getting saved at all, ever.
I feel sorry for Joe Hart.
What about something? I love my goalkeepers.
Yeah, you've got both are class.
Yeah.
I love that.
Can I just say thank you to West Ham for taking Lingard, because I really did not want him. So thank you very, very much.
You might need him now. Kane's out for 3
we're
weeks.
We're going to get rid of Dele Alli. We are not replacing Dele Alli with Jesse Lingard in 2021. I am not. No. If we get rid of Dele Alli, the replacement is not Lingard. So I'm very happy. Thank you. Yeah. At least I'm going to do something so silly. I'm saying if you don't have Dele Alli, have Dele Alli.
Really wanted Lingard.
Or Lingard. No.
Was Lingard linked with Sheffield United? I don't know.
Very much. Very, very much so.
Yeah.
You went for what's his face instead, didn't you? Ravel Morrison. Yeah, that was the right.
Alex Ferguson said he was the best youth player he's ever seen.
Yeah, well,
he scored that goal from the halfway line against Tottenham, and it was unbelievable. Best thing I've seen, honestly.
All these don't talk about is us. I swear, like every moment they have is against us. Like literally find another rival because it's not us.
Corey, tell her, man. Tell her.
Yeah, mate, we're above them in the league. We're the biggest London club up there at the minute. I don't want to hear nothing.
5 minutes of fame have to end at some point, right? This can't end up like this. I can't be having them. I actually can't.
I'll tell you what. I can't credit to Moisey because he had a few shockers. Let's be honest. Real Sociedad, Sunderland, and how he's done it, I still can't get my head around it. You got most West Ham fans going, I don't know how he's done it. We're just going to have to back him because how can you doubt someone that's taken this squad where it is? I know we've got some good players, but completely galvanised where we're going.
Yeah, remember when everyone was saying it was a good thing that he had COVID and that
second.
Yeah.
That's where it all started.
It's actually a good thing he's not in the dugout, and now it's like he's done so good. He's doing so well.
It's like from men, they've kind of got picked up from where they had that good form when he wasn't there.
There's some silly stats.
It makes me sick.
After Project Restart, we would be 4th in the league based on form, only below Leicester. Go on.
Do you think that COVID-19 a side effect is tactical mastermind?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
David Moyes
I'll tell you,
superpower.
We beat Leicester 3-0 and Wolves 4-0, and I think those two were the best performances of the season when Moyes wasn't even there. So there's definitely something in it, but honestly, mate, I couldn't care less at the minute.
So obviously Liverpool get beat by Burnley, wheels are off. They're out of the title race. They then beat Spurs. They're back in. Do we expect them to steamroll West Ham? You know, I know it's down. Do you? Obviously, Hal says so. But what do you reckon, Kendall?
Yeah, I can see West Ham taking this, to be honest.
Really?
You know what? I'll back West Ham because, again, it's another team that we don't expect to be there, and they are. Like Aston Villa and Leicester, I'll take it. I'll back West Ham.
Yeah. Hal's not happy about this. Hal hates West Ham.
He hates it.
Oscar, what are your thoughts, mate? Obviously, being in and around Liverpool, what's the feeling being like? I'm glad they're back in it because I just don't want Manchester United to be involved in it. I want them to start getting away and it be between City and Liverpool, you know, and maybe obviously Leicester, etc. I just hate the fact that Man United are back in there, you know. So it's good to see Liverpool back.
I think the big thing with Liverpool is the fans are starting to turn on the owners a bit. FFG in terms of like the lack of investment. Look at their debt. That's probably Liverpool's depth is pretty. I know a lot of their players will start for most teams in this league, but depth-wise, it's not too good. You know, and one of Manny or Salah gets injured, they're in trouble. But yesterday, I thought they were absolutely superb. To be honest, I didn't expect them to be that good. Tottenham, to be honest, were not great at all either. I don't know what Mourinho was doing last night, but yeah, I look at that performance last night from Liverpool. I think Jimmy Milner rolled the years back last night. He was outstanding. Alexander-Arnold played really well. And the thing is, you know, I think the media has got on this thing like Alexander-Arnold's overhyped. Salah and Mane aren't that good. Thiago, I saw some absolute nonsense about Thiago, like saying that he's just an overhyped player. I mean, anyone that's watched Champions League football or, you know, Bayern Munich, Barcelona will see how good Thiago is. And for me, if you get them in anywhere near any kind of form, I think they've probably got a bit too much for West Ham, but it will be a tight game. They're not going to steamroll West Ham the same way I think they have done previously. I think West Ham, Moyes, always tough. It's always a tough game against Moyes, breaking them down, the counter-attacking threat. And what I will say is Thomas Souček's height against Liverpool. You know, you got Reece Williams there, not particularly dominant. No Van Dijk, of course. I think it could cause a problem in that situation. But for me, Liverpool still got a bit too much. 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool, yeah. I fancy Liverpool to win as well. Sorry, Corey, I hope you know, but yeah, I do. 3-1, I'm going. Hal?
6-0 Liverpool.
I'll tell you what. Oh, God. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Go on, Elena.
Right. Where do you want me to start? Because if I get into this Liverpool game, I'm going to get into our game. So
no, just give me a score prediction. Just give me a score prediction for now.
I thought you had to go in.
Considering yesterday, I'm going to back Liverpool because I can't have these lot get too excited. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
Yes, put them in their place, Elena.
I'm going to be honest, Spurs were terrible. Not enough being said. I know people say Liverpool are back.
Trust me, I've got a lot to say.
Ridiculous.
You haven't got to me yet.
We are well in this game. It's going to be, I reckon, go 1-0 West Ham. Mickey Antonio, get the winner.
You're a deluded idiot.
Says the one that said 6-0.
You said you deluded idiot. That's class. Oh, God. Right, okay. Let's not too much.
Can I just give a shout out to the Pavlos one? That's my favourite ever comment that we've seen.
Who said about the Wrights brothers? I've seen you chuckle into it as well.
Oh, stop it.
It's just a callback.
Yeah.
Great time.
It was. Great gag. Right, Brighton Spurs. Let's not touch too much on the fixture itself, but obviously Spurs, Mourinho hanging players out to dry. I think Aurier and Lloris, were they fighting, Elena? Talk to me. What's going down at Spurs?
Well, apparently it's Jose's third season in charge, even though it's his second season in charge. We've kind of got the third season syndrome already. I just like to say Mr. Master Tactician played Doherty, which has been a terrible right back, at left wing back yesterday, and he's supposed to be the Master Tactician.
But Elena, I've got a question for you. Why did you guys sign Doherty if you don't really play with wing backs, and when you do, you stick him at left wing back?
I genuinely do not understand. When we signed him, I said, maybe we're going to play a back three so we can play wing backs. No, we play a back four, play him in there, which he's terrible at. And then when we do play wing backs, like you say, we stick him on the left, which makes no absolute sense. Yes, he didn't directly lead to a goal, but he was basically like playing with 10 men when he was on the pitch, when he was on the pitch for the whole game. But yeah, at least he got moved to right, like to play on the right side after, but ridiculous decision. I think if Poch gets stick for Son playing as left wing back, then he should get stick for playing Doherty there, which has been terrible. I don't agree with the fact that we literally played. We had 3 attempts, 2 shots on target. One of them was a goal. Throughout the whole game, when we're 3-1 down, we had no shots on target and no attempts. when we're 3-1 down. This is supposed to be Mr. Master Manager, doesn't like to lose games. We're losing a game at home to an injured Liverpool, which just got pretty much hammered by Manchester United. I know he said United. Literally. And we didn't even take anything to them, nothing. Now, there is no way that that isn't his fault. Yes, there was his fault. There is no, I will not sit there and say there is anything other than that. Yes, our defenders were terrible, but he played Rodon in a very, very, very important game. Rodon in a very important game when he hasn't even played like Premier League football other than the Chelsea game, which obviously we had to then, but I don't see why he didn't play Toby and Dyer, which are two very experienced defenders, which should have been. Obviously Lloris had a howler when he's punching it out to the middle of the box for no reason. There are obviously individual errors, but the way we played is not okay. Like I say, 3 attempts, losing a game 3-1, having 3 attempts at goal is not good enough. We need to create more chances, and that is because he's telling us to sit back. I do not care what he says, but yeah, he never takes responsibility. It's always the players. So yeah.
So after all that, it's Jose out. Yeah, is that what we're saying?
No.
I see your tweets, and you have to caveat this all the time. I'm allowed to give him criticism. I'm not Jose out.
Yeah, I'll just explain this. He's the best manager to get us a trophy, which is what Tottenham need. We need a trophy. He's a good 90-minute man. But overall, we need a manager to be a coach to our squad and to obviously have better football. So yeah, I think that we need. Definitely not Lampard. I do not want any more Chelsea legends at my club as my manager. Let me just throw that out there. Just as a.
He's rocking up at Newcastle. I'm telling you, Kendall's got him to come there. I'm telling you.
But Lampard or Jose?
Lampard.
She was
Jose.
Jose. I was like, yeah, Jose. I like Jose. He's even said in the past he's a little magpie. Like he loves Bobby, like Sir Bobby. He gave him his career, so I do honestly think that Jose will manage Newcastle one day, but not Lampard. Thanks God, it's like just another Steve Bruce, but younger. Oh God, he can't do anything with a 500 million squad. What the friggin' hell is he gonna do with Joe Linton? Oh my God, that's just not good.
Regardless, I just think we need to play creating more chances overall. But yeah, he's our best manager for the time being. But overall, I don't know if I see it beyond a long time because he's the best to get us a trophy. But overall, I don't see it. But in terms of the Brighton game, we've got to win because we've got Chelsea next, and anything can happen. So I'm going to go 2-1 to us.
2-1. Oscar. I am. Yeah, Oscar.
Brighton.
Oscar, I seen you actually tweeting positively about Joe Rodon. Do you agree with Oscar? You were saying he should get more game time. Sorry.
Yeah, when the other option's Eric Dyer, I mean.
Yeah, but he won't drop Dyer. This is the problem.
Why?
He will play Rodon and Dyer. Dyer's his long lost son from Portugal. I don't understand. He will never drop him. So for me, it's like at the moment, I would rather drop Dyer as well. But because he won't, I would rather have played Toby just for the experience. Dyer's always going to make a mistake. And I feel like Rodon was so inexperienced, it wasn't the game to play him in. But I agree that we should be dropping Dyer and playing Rodon instead. But Jose Mourinho is never going to do that, ever. It's like he's so stubborn, he won't change his view on him. He thinks he's the only one with the attitude and he won't change it.
Cool.
I thought Spurs were absolutely. Honestly, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be fuming for that game last night because
and the manager does take criticism for that.
It was at Kidderminster last season on loan at centre back in a game like that, and they have 3 shots on goal, and it's never had a go. And for me, Kane coming out of that team as well. I honestly think if Mourinho's not careful, by the time Kane comes back in, could be really the shit.
This is the problem. If we're relying on 2 players to score every goal, we're relying on 2 players to score. This is the problem.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll all go for Spurs wins across the board on that one. Just conscious of time. I just want to finish up with Man City, Sheffield United. Girls, are you all right for 5 minutes, or do you need to shoot?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm
all right for a couple. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, cool. Right, okay. Sorry, I don't want you being late at all. So let's give Hal his moment in the sun. Obviously, get that result against Newcastle. Oh, he's taking the piss. He's taking the piss, isn't he?
He's just done that instead. He's such a knob.
He's such a knob. You done that? You're such a knob. How? Right.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened then?
I just didn't want to do it.
Oh wow! Right, okay. Talk to me about the Blades, mate, and this game actually against Man City, the best team in the league.
So yeah, I mean, we are Sheffield United's incredible performance against Man United. We finally look like the Blades again, playing football the Sheffield United way. 9 players out. We've still got loads of players out. We're going to have to go to Manchester Sky Blue. Pep Guardiola, obviously, they're on a great run. They've got Kevin De Bruyne out. They've got Aguero out. Maybe Gabriel Jesus. Who knows? We will see. It doesn't really matter who they play. They're obviously a far better side. They've got all the money, and we don't. We're going to have to play some players that shouldn't really be playing Premier League football, like Keane Bryan. He might have to play, you know, a guy who was on loan last season at Bolton, scores against Manchester Red, and now who knows, maybe he could do the same thing. We only had 3 fit players on the bench. They all came on against Manchester Red, and we didn't have any other options. If John Fleck, who got injured, had gone off, we'd have had to play with 10 men, and that is seriously the situation going into this game. So we're depleted. They've had a day longer to rest. It's going to be extremely tough, but maybe the great escape is on. There is a team that has come from this sort of situation before that didn't win a game till Christmas and still stayed up. That was Sheffield United. Maybe we can do it again.
Nice. I love that, mate. That was very passionate. You know, it was very passionate.
Stick it on the wall.
I do think that Keane Bryan chant thing is terrible, mind. But I'll just leave that. I'll leave that one there.
I came up with that.
I noticed. That's it. I watched the video, bro. I watched the video. I seen these people coming on going, ho, ho, ho. I was like, oh, no, Hal, what are you doing?
Well, you're too young. It comes from a sweet corn advert.
We know where it comes from.
The Green Giant.
We know.
All right, Elena didn't know.
The Green Giant is just a terrible football chant. I'm telling you.
It's not a football chant. I'm bringing something else into the mix. They've got all these established football chants. We need something new.
Yeah. Can you imagine going away to Bramall Lane and ho, 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 King Brian? You'd be like, what are they doing?
You're all going to be doing it. You're going to have it in your head as well. Whoever thought that's a genius, a very handsome genius.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. Does anyone... Because I've said for a while now, and I say it on another thing that I've gone, that I fancied Sheffield United to do it. I have said it for week on week on week. Does anyone else agree with me, or do we think, regardless of this, it's going to be tough against City, right? Let's just write that one off. I'm not saying that will be the case, Hal, but let's say if we do that. Does anyone else think that they might stay up, or is it still game over?
I'll back them. Like, honestly, like, I genuinely think when we played them, and Hal was despondent at the time, quite rightly, that they didn't play bad football. And I think when you look at teams like West Brom, are shocking, and you just feel like if they can get some confidence, and the good thing is they kept Wilder, and I think if they do get confidence, they are going to start to build on it, get a couple of players back, get Sander Berg back in there. Scott Parker's struggling to get wins at the minute. You don't know. Newcastle could get dragged in, so it'd be some story if they got out of it. Fair play to them going to Old Trafford the other night and winning.
Yeah, I think they can as well. I think. Look, I'll be honest. I was very vocal against Chris Wilder a couple of weeks back, but giving credit, he's actually really started to pull it round again. You know, I think the last couple of results they've got, I think, have really been. It's been similar kind of football to how they first played when they came into the Premier League. And for me, I think as Corey said, Scott Parker's not getting wins. Graham Potter is apparently this brilliant tactician. He's not getting results either. I think this season it could even be close to 30 points to stay up. Yeah. What Sheffield United on 8? So that's kind of 22 points, 24 points. Kind of talking 7 or 8 wins out of 20. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. A couple of draws as well. But I'd back Chris Wilder in those big games against Fulham and Brighton to do the business. So I'll give them a chance. They won't finish bottom. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what? I love you, Oscar. And as long as we don't finish with the lowest points total ever, we only need another win to get 11, which would be level with Derby. Fun fact for you, our starting 11 that played against Manchester cost £21 million, 18.5 of which was on Aaron Ramsdale, the goalkeeper. Wow. And Manchester United starting 11 cost over 330 million. I couldn't find out how much Tuanzebe cost, so that's without him included.
Yeah, wow, crazy. Right, that brings us to the end. The girls need to shoot, and that before they do, just tell us what's been going on. Kendall, Elena, we'll start with Kendall. I've seen you got a new podcasting gig. Do you want to tell people what's going on about your channel, etc.?
Yeah, so obviously my channel's just my channel. Everyone just goes on there for a bit Rafa Benitez sing song. However, yeah, me and obviously Eleanor have also both just been given presenting shows on the football terrace, so that's really exciting. Big things coming, and you know, we're just here, there, and everywhere at the moment.
Yeah. We go everywhere together. We're like,
we're just on it. So yeah,
we're like two peas in a pod at the moment.
Yes, we are. So, but yeah, really happy with it. So buzzing.
So that's like a weekly show on Football Terrace, just girls talking about football, right?
Yeah, it'll be. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. It's going to be a bit of a sort of a review of the weekend before's games, and also a preview of the weekend's games coming, and any trending topics that's happened during the week of football. But going to add a little bit of something different in there, a few little bits. Obviously, I won't say what because what's the point? No one's going to watch it if I tell everyone. But yeah. So it'll be really good. I'm really looking forward to it actually.
Great stuff. Well done. And Elena, what about yourself? You're doing the Spurs gig, right?
Yes, I've just got. It's called That Tottenham Show. It will be. I don't know if anyone's watched the Chelsea one, or they've also got a United one on there. But they've not had much.
Got Sheffield United.
Sheffield United one. It must be a Sheffield United one.
I will remember. But yeah, they haven't had much Tottenham content on there before, so it was kind of. We've now got a few more Tottenham fans and stuff, and they've offered me to host the Tottenham podcast, which is really exciting. And yeah, it will be every Wednesday because we don't play on Wednesdays anymore, unfortunately. So it will be Wednesday evenings. Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah, Kendall getting the box to box is really exciting, and it just seems to be falling into place for both of us at the moment. And yeah, we're everywhere, doing a bit everywhere at the moment. And yeah, my channel's just me and Kendall are going to be doing a show on Tuesdays, just reviewing the games. But yeah, we'll just be doing that and whatever I can fit in with everything else.
Honestly, well done both of you. It's great to see. Thank you for coming on. I'll let you shoot. Don't be ditching us though, right? Now that you're reaching for the stars, don't be ditching us, all right?
No, I love my Fridays here. Actually, keep me sane, to be honest.
Good.
Finally, something good about the word Wednesday. I like it.
Good. See you later, girls. Enjoy. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Bye.
There we go. We'll let the girls go because I was getting messages in the chat. I need to go, and it was really doing my anxiety in. So I was like, I need to tie it up. Yeah, boys. Right, Corey. Man City, Sheffield United, obviously we've already touched on. You think they'll do it. Oscar thinks they'll do it. I think they'll do it. People are saying in the chat we're on drugs, etc. No, serious, I've seen it. But and people, this reference towards this Derby side, Derby were woeful. Look at Sheffield United's games. They're in the majority of them. Our game, for example, Leeds United fans, it was so tight. And it's a game I look at next time around where I think, again, it could go either way. There's more.
Something else, Joe. All the teams we've got to play that are around us and at home.
Yeah.
Chris Wilder will do the business in them for me. He'll 1-0ers for me. He'll know what to. I think the thing is, if Ryan Brewster actually starts playing like Ryan Brewster, I think Sheffield United will be all right. It's just, I don't know. It's just, has he scored yet?
No, Oscar. The way we've been winning is playing the team of last season. We've had to ditch the new signings; they've not worked. And we're just throwing the old boys back in like Billy Sharp.
I quite like Ollie Burke, actually, to be fair. A couple of times I've seen him.
He's not a striker, though. Even the goal he scored against Manchester, it's a real swinger, and it takes a huge deflection, and that's his first goal in the Premier League. He never really looks like scoring. He's just got raw pace.
Yeah. Let me just get to this super chat before we end it, guys. Where is he gone? I've found it. There it is. Great show, he says. Thanks from Solanum Linenham. Let's hey?
Nailed it, definitely. That's definitely how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, Solanum.
Great stuff. Mama, Solanum.
Ho, Keen
Brian.
See, oh, God, man. I can't.
It's a beauty.
That's why I'm wearing this green. It's in honour.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice shirt.
It's new. I got it today. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice shirt. Right, guys. I need to shoot because I need to do something after this as well, which is very exciting, actually. It's been quite fun. Make sure you check out Football Prizes. Remember, you can get yourself a Rodrigo signed, worn, match-worn Poppy shirt. You can also get a Pascal Strout signed and framed shirt. And please do check out the Vinnie Jones interview on Hal's radio Facebook. That's in the link as well. So if you've got nothing to do after this, or even if you've got something to do, watching Hal and Vinnie Jones is better. So go over. There's loads of Leeds stuff in there. Gianni Alioski, etc. So yeah, that'll be a great watch. So thank you also for tuning in, as always. We'll be back with you tomorrow for your big match preview ahead of Leicester. Make sure you check out the West Ham Way, climbing for that top 4 spot. And Hal, the Great Escape is on, man. I believe in you, brother. I believe in you. Make it happen. Up the blades. Up the blades.
Oscar, great to see you back on your front.
Yeah. Oscar will be hosting next week as well because I'm having a week off. So there you go, Hal. You'll be buzzing about that, my man. We're going to end. We're going to end that there. Thank you.
Don't be too enthusiastic, Hal.